Hey guys, welcome to Fantasy Week 6. Hope everyone had a great week and are ready for the matchups coming up. We had a great week last week. Some surprises. First for our league, the Beatdown got their first victory. I'd like to congratulate Chris Cranfield for his first victory, and I'm sure it will be only the first of more to come, and I'm sure that he was excited about winning last week and getting off that losing snide, getting that 0 out from away from the win column there for him, and he beat a good team. So it was a very, very good week for him. Also, our only undefeated team, the Avengers, they took the L last week, and congratulations to Dwight for beating Jamie's Avengers last week. And I know that Jamie's down probably a little bit about that, but I'm sure he will bounce back. Last week I was 3-3, 3 up and 3 down, just a mediocre week for me, with a couple of upsets there. Like I said before, I couldn't pull out my own win. If I could start Matt Forte, I would be undefeated, but I can't seem to start him when he needs to be started. I went back and looked at all 5 of my weeks, and if I had started Matt Forte every week this year, I would be 5-0 instead of 3-2. But that's the way it goes. Sometimes you just don't know, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about this week is the huge fluctuations that I have noticed with certain players having real big weeks some weeks and just almost nothing the next. Chris Johnson is a prime example of that. The Intimidators have had Chris Johnson just to have real great weeks, and then a couple weeks where he just haven't done anything. Just to give you an example, this is Chris Johnson's first 5 weeks: 28 points, 3 points, 25 points, 4 points, 26 points. I mean, that's really strange that he would be up one week and down the next, up one week and down the next. Also, some other things that are kind of strange looking at, as if you look at it, Matt Forte is 4th in points for running backs. But if you look at it closer, you see that he scored 33 points, 12, 3, 2, and 32 points. He's gotten most of his points in only 2 different weeks. Now, what does this all mean? This means that defenses, when, say, like a Matt Forte or a Chris Johnson have real big weeks, the other team's defenses, when they come up the next week, really focus on that one particular player that burned another team the week before. And defenses are trying to take away certain aspects of the other team's game. The defenses are. So I think that's kind of what's made things kind of weird. Plus, Cutler was injured last week for Chicago, so Forte is basically the whole offense because Collins couldn't pass, and the other guy, I forgot what his name was, that was in there after Collins went out, he couldn't do anything through the air, so it was all Forte. So that was the reason for his big week. If Cutler had been in there, I'm sure that it would have been a little bit more balanced. But I didn't start Forte because I thought, well, Carolina will focus on the run, and will stop Forte because that offensive line isn't that good. Well, come to find out this week, we just found out how bad Carolina's team was, unfortunately, and that they're pretty bad. So I didn't take that into account. I didn't think they were that bad, but evidently they were. But that cost me a win. But that's okay. We'll carry on and move on from that. As far as our trophy winners from last week, congratulations to Mike Sirianni and the Stallions for getting the top dog award. They had the most points in the league last week, 104. I'd like to congratulate them, and that was a good week for Mike, and I know he's excited about that. He beat Sean's Condors by only 7 points. And that gets us to our Tough Break Award, which was a tie this week. The Trinity War Dogs and Sean's Craven Pine Soaring Condors both scored 97 points in a losing effort. And another one of those weeks where Sean didn't put up good points and didn't get the win, but that's the way it goes. Sorry for them to get the Tough Break Award this week. Maybe they'll have better luck this coming week. The Lucky Dog Award goes to the Jokers. Congratulations to them. Jamie's team was just a little off this week, and the Jokers got the measure of them, 84-80. So to knock the Avengers out from the ranks of the unbeaten. And so good luck to them, and congratulations to Dwight and the Jokers. The Donkey Award this week goes to the Wallaroos. They only scored 66 points this week in a losing effort to Ian's Shake and Bake. And so, like I said before, I'd like to congratulate Chris on his first win of the year. Congratulations to him. I know that's, like I said, hopefully it's one of many. So anyway, let's get on to this week. Like I said before, I was 3-3 last week, 19-11 for the year. Not great week. I mean, not great year, but not a bad one either. So anyway, we'll go with that and see how we can try to improve on it this week. Got some good matchups, really good matchups this week. Some that were really tough to handicap and to score. So we're just going to try to get through it and do the best we can with it, and hopefully I'm right on more than I miss. So anyway, the first one is my Fairgrove Mad Dogs against the Thomasville Jokers. Jokers coming off that big win last week. I'm hoping that they're down just a little bit this week, and I get the right people in there. Don't know if I'm going to start Forte or not. I'm almost tempted to start, as bad as Matt Schaub has been, except for the 1 week, starting Vince Young at quarterback. So I don't know. I haven't made up my mind what I'm going to do there. Even set Maurice Jones-Drew if his wrist is bad enough. I'll set him and put Forte in there. Maybe I'll get a win. Maybe I will get that win this week using Forte. But hopefully I can pull it out. I think I can. Keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully everything will work out good for me, and I'll get the victory this week. I think I'll take the measure of the Jokers. Hopefully, the next one is the LA Avengers, coming off their first loss against the Thomasville Ligers, who had a big victory last week over Craig's War Dogs. And Craig had put something in the message board regarding, said, basically telling me I didn't know what I was talking about. But anyway, that didn't matter. I got this. I got it right, Craig. So anyway, this week though, I think that the Avengers will make a comeback and get the victory over the Ligers. So I predict the Avengers will win out over the Ligers this week. And the next one is L-Town Beatdown against Craig's Trinity War Dogs, and this will be an interesting matchup. I don't know if everyone knows, but Chris and Craig work at Sunland, where I used to work, and they work in the same office together. So I know this will be a big rivalry this week, and they'll be trash talking each other. So we'll see how that goes. I believe that the War Dogs will get the best of the beatdown this week. The War Dogs have got Richard Mendenhall back, and the beatdown just still need more players. They had good weeks last week out of several players, but I believe this week they may not have that kind of luck that they did last week. So I kind of think that the War Dogs will get the best of the beatdown this week. But wouldn't be surprised if it goes the other way. And the next one is the Westover Wallaroos versus Craven Pine Soaring Condors. The hard luck Condors, I must say. I hate to say it, but Condors have had some bad luck. But I believe this week that they will take the measure of the Wallaroos and get their second win of the season next week. And Craven Pines can kind of get back into it as far as the playoff race goes. Got some interesting things are kind of coming together as far as our standings go and our records go. So it's beginning to become kind of interesting as to who's going to make the playoffs. You know, after this week, we'll be almost at halfway for the regular season. So can't believe that we're that far along, but we are. The next one is the Archdale Intimidators versus Seagrove Shake and Bake. And the Intimidators got me last week, mainly because I don't know when to use Forte and when not to. But anyway, this one's going to be a interesting matchup. I think this will probably be the matchup of the week. Very, very close. Both teams are very well balanced, and they're pretty much at full strength. Both of them are. This is going to be a great, great matchup. I'm not sure exactly who I think is going to win, but I'm kind of leaning towards Shake and Bake actually right now. I think that the Ian's team is just really strong. Ray Rice had a real good week last week. Chris Johnson, not exactly sure what's going on with him. I think he may have a shoulder injury or something like that, or thigh injury, excuse me. And so we're not exactly sure where he is there with his injury. Aaron Rodgers will probably may or may not be out this week, and if he has to use Ben Roethlisberger, that may hurt him a little bit. So we're kind of keeping an eye on that situation. A lot of question marks as far as injuries are concerned for the Intimidators. So I'm going to go with Seagrove this week to get the best of the Intimidators. But that's one of those that's a toss-up. It really could go either way. And the last matchup is the Italian Stallions versus Sophia Slawcats. Slawcats had an uncharacteristic bad week last week. They didn't score up to their usual standards, and the Stallions had a wonderful week last week. I think that's going to kind of reverse this week. I think the Stallions will take a step back. The Slawcats will step up this week, and I think that the Slawcats will take the measure of the Stallions. So that's my picks for the week. Hope y'all have a great week. If you got any questions or comments that you want to make them over on the message board, and I will post these over in the message board in a few minutes. And y'all have a wonderful week and good luck.